But let's start on the legislative front and go to the obvious question, which I think you, as the head of the premier organization, are advocating for gun legislation, for different aspects of gun control. Why has your side failed time and time again when polls show, in particular, on the subject of background checks, universalizing background checks, that, I mean, it's an amazing number, above 90%. More than 90% of Americans say background checks are fine. What's going wrong from the organizational perspective or from the movement perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it comes down, I guess you can say, to two words: intensity and mythology. You know, there is an intensity gap between those who support sensible gun laws, the 90% of Americans who support background checks, and the very, very small minority of Americans who don't. And that intensity gap has led to the mythology that the gun lobby, and I just want to be clear what we're talking about when we're talking about the NRA here. We're talking about the leadership of the NRA as the corporate gun lobby. Because if you look at the polls among NRA members, 74% of NRA members supported the background check law that was defeated. So I share your invitation, and hopefully, you know, we can have that conversation with folks in the audience who are NRA members as well. But there's this mythology that's been allowed to, you know, that's perpetuated itself in DC, that, you know, you are going to be held accountable if you do what, in essence, is the right thing on behalf of your
Is it mythology, or if you're a senator from North Dakota or South Dakota or even Vermont, a place like that, you can really suffer at the hands of the voters?
Yeah, interestingly, all of the evidence, including, you know, the stuff that's come out recently after the 2012 elections, show that strikingly is not the case. Less than 1% of the money that the gun lobby spent on candidates that they support actually, or against candidates that they wanted to defeat, was spent effectively for the results that they wanted.
Okay, so you're basically arguing that the NRA is, in truth, ineffective and represents virtually no one. So what's going on?
No, well, so,
I'm missing the.
So there are a lot of NRA members. They do misrepresent what the overwhelming majority of their members support from a policy perspective. Now, there are a lot of great things that people take away from the NRA. You know, we have nothing against safety training. In fact, I think there should be more safety training. But from a policy perspective, it's not that they don't represent no one, but they certainly don't represent the 4 million people that they claim to represent.